One of the questions you need to ask yourself before starting any dashboarding or reporting project is, should this be a dashboard or can it just be an alert? If the only time I care about this thing changing is if it drops below a certain threshold or goes above a certain threshold, it should probably just be alert and not actually be a dashboard. Anything you really don't need to look at unless there is a certain series of events or a push past a certain limit is not something that typically needs to be built into a dashboard. Choosing what we actually report on and put into dashboards can be really, really tricky. There are times when you just want a general overview of the KPIs that your company tracks all in one place so you can see it at a glance, but rarely are those types of dashboards going to lead to any actionable changes. But what they can do is give you sort of more concise questions that you can then dig into a little bit deeper. Big, broad overview metrics like this don't tend to really answer meaningful questions. They just tend to give you a general sense of what's going on. This is telling us the what. It's not going to answer the why, but it might help us figure out why we're trying to answer. I might see a big variation like this and then say, hey, why is that there? Why are we having such big fluctuations in this region? And then you can dig deeper into the data and find an answer. I sometimes break this down as like, what, so what, now what? What is just what's going on? That's what something like a dashboard might be able to handle pretty well. So what is, hey, why does this matter? Why is it important? And why is something actually happening in the first place? And now what is just like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do about this? What's the impact of this information? Dashboards are great at helping you figure out the what. They're only going to give you the so what if you actually have a purpose-built dashboard specifically designed for that question. And they're very rarely going to answer the now what part. Not necessarily a super rigid set of rules for this, right? This is more of a general heuristic that you can use. There are many cases in which you might be aiming at that so what and now what in your dashboards, and there are many cases in which you might want to report on something or build a dashboard with something that doesn't fit into this model that I've given you. But when you're just starting and you're just trying to figure out what to put on the page, why to put it on the page, what the goal is, it's good to have this general model in mind. I think it can really make a big difference. Hope that helps, folks. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll do my best to respond to everybody. Bye for now. See ya.